welcome, sir. This is Mr. Cheruku Prakash Reddy Garu. He's IIT IIM and he has a lot of experience for more than 25 years and more than over 30 years actually in multiple facets, that is education, health, everything. And he's worked with a lot of companies to get their strategy and going for the next 10 years. He thinks ahead and then he helps the companies to be the best. So like that, he's thinking ahead for Shishti World School and he's allowing, he's making us to be the best so that we can give the best service to you. So your IMAX program, your MBITE programs, all these exciting things that you're having on school are in a lot of conjunction with him. So let's have a talk with him to see how can we be prepared for today and tomorrow's new next generation education, blended learning. So how we have to operate our applications and all that, we're going to see later. So let's hear to him. There is a small technical problem. We'll try to get out with it. Okay. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining. We welcome you all. We welcome you on behalf of Shishti World School, our parents and the students and the teachers as well. And we are eagerly waiting to hear from you what your take is on how can the parents be ready for the next generation education and what are those components that we should get ready with so that we are the best. We as Shishti are the best. Thank you so much. Please welcome you, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Meghna. And also I wish you, you and your staff of the school and as well as all the parents and children, very, very happy New Year and also the Sankranti, which is coming up. And I think it is going to give us a new opportunity. We are at a period where we are in a very different times. Never the world has seen before. And in fact, we were handed over an unwelcome, but we have to unwelcome period, but we might as well make the most of it. So that is my thing. At the same time, it is also a blessing as well as also it is a in disguise which has come. And this is still active, the pandemic. And there are a lot of long-term consequences on economic, social, and other realms of life, and which is still not clear. Because very few have predicted that such a small unseen enemy could literally stop the world. You know, in fact, it has stopped all of us. So what do we predict now? How are things going to be? And this is a very small unseen enemy which has really brought upon us and on the humanity. People are still so helpless in fighting these small, tiny things at home, outside. And so children now, today, have big question mark. And unlike the times of children of earlier years, like all of us. So our main weapons today are not technology or a sophisticated machinery, but a very primitive, low-tech defense mechanism, and that is the face mask and social distancing. And these are actually the same weapons used in the century ago to fight many other things like influenza and all. In fact, that is where our routine has become. But I think coming to the schools, I think we are in a, you know, at a very wonderful opportunity we all have. In fact, the story is that when Shishti World School, that was actually envisaged by Dr. Meghna and Susila Rani Garu, we were trying to create a school that was much before pandemic, create a school which can connect to the world and which can also connect to, you know, in a very different way, because today's children require, you know, to live in two worlds now. The world that we have been in, which is a singular world, one world where a teacher comes and she teaches, and then we do our homework, give exams. But today, the children have to face two worlds. the virtual world and the real world. And that is where the challenge is. So we cannot live in the past. We have to live into the future. And so the whole roadmap was actually put together over the last 1.5 years for Shishti School, and which was supposed to be inaugurated in November on the Children's Day, at least on 2019-20. And unfortunately, this whole thing has come about. Still, that plan has been worked out with minute details, like any school never before in India, because we are not in a city. We are not in a big city like Bombay or Bangalore or any place. We are in a small town, and that too in a small colony. And we want to show the world how we can, as our children can connect to the world. That's why the coining of this whole, the school's name was Shishti World School. Shishti means it is the universe, and the world is the world we live in. And Shishti is something which is beyond our world, which is more like a virtual world today. And we want to connect the children of the future so that they can be connected with all the right skills and the right type of education and the right type of the way to live in a world which is going to be a different world than the world that we are seeing today. Because tomorrow, nobody can say what type of world they'll be coming into. But how do we prepare these children? We have to prepare these children with all the type of skills. There are several skills that you require, and those skills are all mostly the skills to really adapt and change according to the situation the children face tomorrow. And they are going to be the most successful children. And it's because they are prepared for anything. And that preparation roadmap is it is now kept ready. Had this been maybe 6 months earlier to pandemic, had we unveiled, it would have just taken 2 days for the school to immediately come back and say then again the same learning would have taken place. And that was not to be. But then that is a providence. So what we are now trying to do is hopefully everything goes all right. So because we wanted to take parents, concurrence, approval before we can launch it. Whatever teaching that you have seen until now, as soon as the pandemic struck, teachers suddenly got glued to the, whatever is available, mostly from home or from anywhere, from any device that they can get into. And even the children, any device, either a mobile phone or anything. And then it was not in a true sense, a blended learning. It was very far from it. It was actually crisis learning and crisis teaching. And so you cannot judge what actually happened until then with what is going to be there when you say blended learning. That whole platform, this is a particularly launching pad or a warm-up, information for you guys, all of you. So basically what it is going to be exposition is going to be in the next 4 to 5 weeks time in about 2-3 sessions. So Dr. Meghna is putting together that plan, and we will be basically, the parents are going to be the participants in that session, because the parents have to really understand what actually entails the future of children and how they can be the partners to the progress, keeping the child at the center. And we are not talking about technology. We are not talking about anything else. But what is important there, and why something is called blended learning. Blended means there are 4 teachers here. When you talk about blended learning, there are 4 type of teachers are involved. So basically every child will be taught by 4 teachers. And those 4 teachers are going to be, something like, today you have a teacher, which is a teacher who we are seeing. But then that teacher will be assisted by 3 more teachers. One is the virtual teacher. And then the one is the teacher within themselves as a student. They themselves have to learn now because they themselves have to teach. And teachers will be acting more like a facilitators, so that this learning is a 24/7. whether a student is at home or even the student is in the school or anywhere else. So the outside world is going to be a big teacher. So we are going to unveil all those 4 teachers and how the teachers are going to make things so much different, and how the child is going to be empowered to really take on any type of a world that they can face. Hopefully by next year, by this time, all the things would have been unveiled, and then you know what type of experience your children are going to get, and the type of joy that they are going to have while they are growing up. Today, the joy was more confined to kindergarten and maybe first or second class students. As they go up, I think most of the learning is becoming boring. But at the same time, why are we killing that joy in schools? Why they cannot be like children? You know, even if they are in 8th or 10th class, why can't they be like a child and learning at all the time and getting prepared for any eventuality that they're going to face the world tomorrow? And that is the type of a environment that we would like to create. And that is what the plan is all about. And for that, there are a lot of elements to it, which go very, very seamlessly into the learning process of the student or the child, and even the parent can enjoy the process. So this process, there are several elements. So basically, we are talking about NEP coming in from the top down. But here we are talking about something going from the bottom up. So that means basically we are trying to look at our school and see how we can connect to everything else, including the policies, including the everything else. Apart from this, what else? Because today the jobs or anything that you see outside is not what actually is really coping up with what learning is taking place in schools. So we have to really connect them together, and so that our children are much more successful and they really flourish in life. So that is what is, I wanted to give you a brief exposition of what it is all about. So I think that plan is going to be unveiled in the next few days as soon as the Sankranti is over. And then within the 4 to 5 sessions until February 5th or so, that whole thing will be brought about. And I think parents and the school can come together and decide what would be the course and what sort of a participation is required from all of us. The only promise a school can make is, as long as the parents are involved in the process, I think we can teach the child to be at the center, not the learning or the teaching, but the child in the center of the whole process, and how things can really unveil from there on. And that's, I think, the plan. I think it is for the school to really put that plan together in the next few days and start unveiling in 4 sessions, which will be about an hour each. And all of you should really participate in it and then understand it. And then we can reflect upon and they keep the plan rolling about in the next few months, maybe a month from now. And then things can go forward from then on. And I think you can see a different child, a child that you have never discovered earlier, neither the school nor the parent, a potential child, what a child could be, and how the learning could happen, and what type of joy that they could have. I think this is what it is. And so I think with this brief, whatever I could have told you, I think that's what it is. Yes, Dr. Meghna.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Andy, for your inputs. Are you still going, or are you done?
I will be available, but then I will. But I think my role will be, just to listen to all you guys.
Okay, yes. But thank you so much. All the parents and all the students, you need to know that, like Prakash Reddy Garu, there are a lot of panel of people who are speaking to us all the time, who are helping us design the cutting edge curriculum that we are able to give you, and the strategy that should lie with us and for the parents as well to go ahead into the future. మనము బెస్ట్ గా ఉండడానికి, ఫ్యూచర్ రెడీగా మన పిల్లల్ని మనం చేసుకోవడానికి చాలా మంది ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ ప్యానెల్స్ ఆర్ సిట్టింగ్ విత్ us. ప్రకాష్ రెడ్డి గారు ఇస్ వన్ ఆఫ్ దెమ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ సార్, ఇవాళ మాతో మాట్లాడినందుకు.